All right, here we go with the season finale. Some people think it should be the series finale for what I've been reading. I'll tell you, I think the King storyline went on a bit too long. He was a bit too invincible. Maybe it's just a thing where, like, when you're doing an adaptation, you're translating from static pictures to live action. You just can't make it work live action wise. You know, he's a bit too lucky. Like I said, we could chalk it up to arrogance, maybe a bit of luck, and the fact he's not fighting trained killers for the most part. These are people that Some of the misses though, they'd be right next to him and almost like the one guy missed him throwing a chair, man. Like they were 3 feet apart. I don't know, man. Like it just after the first fake out with the car, like I think if they had done the fake out and I hadn't gotten a bit of catharsis celebrating, I wouldn't be annoyed with it. We had to do it more. So maybe take that fake out. Maybe that's how you solve this. So that the one kill we get, we can just celebrate. Because that really, and also just the fact that he's got hit by a car, slammed into another car, which we have seen in other shows. I don't know what they're doing in real life. Nothing good. We've seen other shows that they had to amputate the dude's legs when that happened. Breaking Bad that happened. Slammed into another car, potentially at least break all your ribs, potentially break your spine, do serious damage to your internal organs, and then it catches on fire. And so he just comes out of it. He's not even burned, and he's not like, what the hell, man? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. So that was annoying. So they were starting to lose me on that. But looking back now that like I've actually seen the whole episode, and maybe it's also a technical glitches had me annoyed as well, probably so. But looking back, I think it's pretty satisfying. I love the alley fight; it was fantastic. And they've been building him up all season, so I think that's a worthwhile final conflict for somebody they had been building up for all season. Basically, the very first episode, in the middle, and in here. That's perfect pacing as far as he goes. This episode had a few pacing problems, which I've touched on, but last episode. Other than that, I think it's great. I hope that we don't have the glitch in this episode. This is an hour and 20 minutes. Jesus, I don't want to have to do the English. The English is trash. You know, but I will if I have to because they're killing me with this whole skip ahead shit. Hopefully that was just a one. That was just that video. At any rate, let's go ahead and get into this. I just said I was going to do predictions. I think they're not going back home, and I think that's just spoiled by the fact they're doing another season. Although I guess you could be pulled back from Earth into a new playground. They thought this was the end. This was the end of the manga, so I think it's going to be a satisfying end, and they do some tomfoolery to get a third season. So I won't even consider a third season. It wasn't in the plans, and it wasn't in the manga. They may have known they were going to do a third season, so maybe they changed the end of the manga. Possibly. But other than that, I think that they're both going to make it. I don't know what's going to happen to the others we saw dying. They're probably gone. I think we're going to get a couple of the players because if this final battle is just the two of them versus her, how's that going to work? We need a couple other people so we can see how serious this game is. And, this is an hour and 20 minutes. But beyond that, the reveal, I think they're going to be turned into game masters and they'll have to accept because otherwise they'll just be summarily killed. And so that or they're sent back to Earth, which I just don't believe is going to happen. So I think they're going to be turned into game masters and maybe they'll do, it'll be a dark ending. It'll be like, well, we get to live. And maybe they'll talk about, well, we can do kinder and gentler games. You can do whatever kind of game you want. It seems you can literally do whatever game you want. But and we may find a few answers about who's actually behind this. Aliens, future people from the future come back in time, um, robot or computer superintelligence potentially, testing humans, running simulations and running tests. If this is a simulation, that would be interesting. It'll be revealed as such, right? That's been my prevailing theory from the beginning. It'll also explain the goofy physics we've seen. Like there could be an in-universe explanation for that. You pick somebody up and throw them in a way that just wouldn't happen in real life with gravity, Earth gravity. So, yeah, I think they're both going to make it, and I don't think they're getting back to Earth. Although, if it is a simulation, that'll be revealed. Wouldn't that be interesting? And, of course, obviously, I think they're not on Earth. I don't think this has happened to Earth because I've explained why throughout the course of the series. So yeah, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and jump into it. You know the drill. Once the dump goes away, we're going to start. I'll say Mark. Mark. As always with this bitch, I can't tell if he's alive or dead. We know she's dead, the one in the background. One in the foreground is probably going to be there soon. He's probably dead. Not yet, but will be. This bitch. Would he just die already? I'm not so over him. I'm not as over him as I am over the king, but I'm pretty over him. Here we are. This is quite the prestigious field there. They had to go all the way up, huh? The one building that doesn't look like shit. We can't get a wet towelette. Croquet, oh Jesus Christ. Croquet blows. I do see little croquet things that you gotta get through. But they tried to bring it over. Really? What the hell? What are you talking about? Huh. I see. The hell are you talking about? It doesn't matter who wins or loses, you just have to survive the game. I don't get it. I don't know, man. I don't like this. This is ominous as hell. Weapons are allowed, too. Why would weapons be allowed? Are people trying to prevent you from shooting your shot or something? What the hell is that? You know what? I don't like that. It's when the dog doesn't bite you in the ass. The hell, man. I don't think I've ever really paid attention to this opening. This is different than the season 1 opening, right? I'm very excited to see how much they actually explain. It's quite possible they don't explain jack shit. They'll be like, well, it is what it is. You get what you get, and what you get here is you don't get the answers. I don't understand croquet either, honestly. A certain order, huh? Okay. Looks like a dumbass game, I'll be honest. Incompetent. It's not funny. By the way, I do not trust this bitch. Obviously. So she plays them individually. I just realized I thought it'd be a 3-way. I don't know how this game works, but is it 1-on-1? Yeah, yeah. Uh huh. Very patronizing. There's something here, man. When you lose, she hits you in the nuts with the mallet. Or does he only he have to play? Boy, he is bad at this. I would try to win. I'm just competitive like that. Right, because he's bad. Well, obviously. You need to start winning. Yeah. They're using the pressure of her injuries, I guess. You need to start winning, bro. Because she's screwing around. Yeah. Well, I think what you do is you don't hit so hard, right? You soft, like you lob it close to the thing, and then you're close, and you can get it in there. Strategy, right? Now she might hit your ball away if she sees what you're doing, but you don't have to make the long shots, man. Just get it close and then get it in there. Now we're talking. Yeah, what's up? You need to start winning. Yeah, she's getting rid of his balls and shit. I think is what happened. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the hell, but I think that's what she's doing. Trying to make this shit last forever. See, like that now they're hitting two balls at once and they're different colors. I don't understand, man. I'm gonna have to look up croquet rules. That's right. So we're in the last set, correct? That's not what it looks like. It's what happened. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Or you can quit. So talk. What the hell is this? What's with the games? What are we doing here? Like, since we're talking. Nope. you expect me to drink that? I mean, it's actually probably good, but made me thirsty. What happens? That's the question, isn't it? I knew she wasn't going to answer it. No, man, you're sitting here like, I'm going to interrogate her. I'll make her want to go back to the game. Believe that shit. No, we're talking. Wouldn't you? You can't do both. Ooh, that's interesting. You can't do both. You can return, but you don't know what the hell this is all about. Man, that'd be a hell of a question. I would almost want to stay because I need answers, right? It's not, though, man. I think we all know that by now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Manipulator. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but you can't say anything or they're watching. Excellent. If you win the third game. If you win the third game. If. Oh, wait. So if you find out you can't leave? Wait, are you serious? Hold on now. We need to consider this carefully. You're saying if you tell me I can never go home. Right. People would be bored, right? Is that what this is? I've seen Fringe. I know what you're talking about. But then what happened, right? Is this like is this like Riverworld? Yeah, they're from the future. Okay. Right. You're from the future, man. Yeah, yeah. A thousand years. Holy shit. This is excellent. Yeah, she's speaking as if she's not human, which she may not be for all we know. Yeah. Is this a simulation? That's my question. Overpopulation. They had to start killing people. Is that what it is? I know I'm trying to jump ahead, but right. Very exciting. She's turned on, man. She's about to come here. Oh shit. No shit. That is crazy. They have control over everything. Then what? Then they get bored. Yeah. And they're bored. That's what it is. They're bored and insane. They probably went insane. That's what this is. They went crazy. Tell you, I really like the direction of these episodes. The way the camera's going past her. It was just really cool, man. I know this is the focus, but that shot was great. The camera. He sees the camera. Yeah. Virtual reality. Called it. Right. Right. He never existed back then. He never existed back then. No shit. Is she even real? Real. Yeah. Or I'm just full of shit. Uh huh. Sure. Yeah. She'll never quit effing around. Oh, okay. You're gonna provide us a couple bullshit different things, and we gotta pick which one we think we believe. These are good stories, man. These are some good stories. It's aliens. Yeah. These are all the best fan theories, right? You're gonna hit us with the fan theories, huh? Hell no. I'd believe the first one before I believe the second one. I still believe my theory. They were taken to another dimension or something from Earth. Earth is still exists in that timeline right now, right? Riverworld is a good analogy, I think. They're never going to tell us, man. Pick which one you like. It's a pansy ass way to tell a story, but you know it's pretty common. So afraid to commit to something, man. Yeah, yeah. They're not androids. They would never do that, right? The first one, I believe. No. Well, I guess talking to her did work. I said that would work, but it didn't. So you can't manipulate her, man. I just want to know, man. Like, it ain't even for anybody. Me personally. They don't care. There's no empathy. Never look for empathy where there is none. I learned that very young in life. Come across that table. Yeah. Again, full of shit. It really is. You ain't gonna do shit, so you might as well put it down. You might as well stick it up your ass. You ain't doing it, man. Put that shit down. I really believe they're in a virtual reality, but now that they've said it, I wonder. Exactly. You just get taken out. She's stuck here. That's interesting. Clear the board and start over with a fresh crop, right? Why are you still pointing a gun at her, man? Like I said, it might as well be up your ass. Like you ain't doing shit. Not in the moment you're trying to live, man. Yeah. Bring it on, bitch. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, bullshit. Third, fool me once, fool me twice, whatever. Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe not virtual reality though. Maybe magic or something. They've already played the virtual reality card. I've been suspicious the whole time. Yeah. Is he human? Is it aliens? That's the $1 million question. I wish he'd put the gun down. It's so stupid. Put the shit down. You ain't gonna do it. Yeah. What makes him so special? Yeah. You're insane. You're in an insane asylum, right? It's all a delusion. This must be one hell of a manga, man. I bet people are loving this shit. They say it was a Korean one. I can't remember. One of the things I'm watching is Korean. Right. I'm real as hell, baby. Yeah. How dare you? It's a shared delusion. Abisa. I like that name. Can she read minds? Because, she wouldn't like what I'm thinking right now. The hell are you talking about? Well, since this ain't real, get naked. Come on, man. Kiss my ass. That's the one you really ain't gonna make me believe. Third time's a charm. The rule of three. She tells three bullshit stories. The next story we hear after this one's the truth. Exactly how full of shit are you? Completely. She's an incredible actress. She's got aura. I talk about aura farming, right? She is aura farming like a mug, man. We don't get the opportunity to experience. I like how they show some of these things too. Great acting from other cultures. At least I don't until I started my reaction channel because I wouldn't watch foreign movies. I hated subtitles. Right, I just wouldn't do it. And I've been exposed to some really fantastic actors. Why should I be relegated to not be able to enjoy the acting just because they don't speak my language? Like that's bullshit, man. This has opened up a whole new world to me. There are great actors across the world. You know. Wow, she looks different as hell, man. Look at her. Look at her range. She's got incredible range too. Okay, Boomer. In this incarnation, I guess he would have killed his friends. That's why he's in a mental institution, right? He would have murdered them, right? She could be a nurse or some shit. Some other patient. Yeah, she'll be crazy as hell. Look at her. I haven't seen her yet. But, just sometimes you worry if I'm in sync with you. No, I haven't seen her yet, but she's crazy as hell. Yeah, there she is. That's right. Sure thing, Boomer. All right, cool. Let's finish this game. Then I'm gonna shoot you in the face after the game's cleared. I should go get some popcorn while she's telling this bullshit. Rule of 3, man. Okay, Boomer. I had forgotten how ridiculous his clothes were to start with. This has been a great series, man. I understand why this is so long. Oh, Jesus Christ! I thought for sure they would have said he killed him. No, it's just the trauma of them dying. Broke his brain. So why would he turn it into this world with all this shit, all these characters, and all these shenanigans? Come on, man. Like, the mind is awesome. I was married to somebody who had dissociative identity disorder, and she had like 3,000 personalities she could hold in her brain, right? But the mind can do a lot, but can it do this much? I seriously doubt it. Yeah. Record scratch. There's no way in hell. Come on, man. Not even just because I know there's a third season. Nobody would have ever asked me to watch this show if this was the truth, if this was the reveal. It would have faded into obscurity already. People would have burned the manga in the streets, man. Come on now. Although there's some nuggets of philosophy here I should probably be paying attention to instead of just mercilessly mocking them. These are childlike games. Yeah, because you made them, bitch. They're going to make me get a drink here in a minute. Keep bullshitting. I will say this. Like, it's got to be... What she's saying here must be important. Because they are dragging this out. This is a long-ass bullshit cul-de-sac shaggy dog story, right? You would normally drag it out this long. She didn't drag the other two out this long. So what she's saying is actually means something, even though this is horseshit, right? There's one person that needs me. Okay, sure thing. I love how the dad just does not give a shit about him. He loves the other one, right? I was Dad's favorite. He was never this like this, man. He treated us equally. We all knew I was a favorite, which is why I got bullied by my older brother. But he did everything he could not to make it this damn obvious, man. Yeah, Jesus. That's such a dumbass question. People like to want to know why they're here, what's the meaning of life, and all that shit. You create your own answer, man. You try to look everywhere else for an answer. Even if all you did was play video games all day, you're still interacting with other people at some point the rest of your day. That's when you affect other people in a positive way. You know, just go out there and affect them. Even if you're playing video games 10 hours a day, every interaction you have outside of that, have a positive influence on people. You are contributing to the world if that's what you do. That is a contribution, man. Just you're putting points into the positivity of society, man. If you do that, that is a contribution. That son of a bitch's dad don't see that, but that's what that is. And he's a kind person. I know he was doing that. He would have kind interactions with people, man. I know it. So it didn't matter he was video gaming 10 hours a day. Don't make me get all severe like I am in the game. She's trying to bring it back. Bullshit memories. This is horse shit. What are you gonna do? Shoot me? Yeah. Okay, how about I shoot you? Well, then the game doesn't clear, right? So, how are you standing with your leg like that? She is a class one S tier gaslighter, man. If he just sits here, he's gonna quit. She's trying to get him to quit. That's what this is. Yeah, right. She's trying to get him to quit by gaslighting him. Yeah, there it is. She's trying to get him to quit. Does she have some kind of mind powers? Yeah, here we go. Mind control powers? Oh well, it almost worked. Yeah, I was asking why you're standing up. What you're saying is you want to quit. Let me be absolutely clear on this. Kiss my ass. Eat a dick. I like how they did it. They put the pills on a white napkin that's the same color as the table, so it's almost doesn't look like they're sitting on anything. So she can slide them over very easily, right? It's clean, right? It's a clean motion. You're always looking for clean motions and shit like this, rather than dropping them out of her hand and having them bounce all over the table and shit. Slide them over on a napkin is the exact same color, so you almost can't see it. Kick that shit out of his hand. Hey, weak ass, weakling. Yeah, damn you, weak. Yeah, now she's pissed. I will cut you. You better back the hell up. Why? Or what? Get your bitch weak ass up, man. Jesus. You believe in this horse shit. Well, she is bleeding, man. Look at her left leg. Jesus Christ, she's bleeding. You made a promise. Yeah. Remember when you tapped that ass? That shit was real, man. Jesus, this is frustrating. It's all about pacing. It's all about timing. You don't want to have the protagonist be passive for too long, or the audience gets frustrated and wants to give up. Because we want you to get up. We believe you're going to get up, so get your ass up, man. Yeah. It must be a teacup she's using. Okay. Yeah. Snap out of it. Jesus Christ, man. This happened before, actually, though. So they are at least consistent. Remember in season one when he gave up and it just took forever to motivate this son of a bitch. This is actually internally consistent. I gotta say, they picked the right man, the right character, because they did this in season one. You know what? Now that I realize that, I get it. It takes a lot to shake this dude out of here, man. It takes a lot. The hell? Why aren't we at the croquet court anymore? Because that's not good. Okay, this is probably still part of his bullshit, right? He's got to wake his ass up. Get your ass up, man. Okay, yeah, I got you. I see what you're doing. This is pretty good, actually. Wonder if they did this at every location, like they knew they were going to do this. So when they're in each one of these locations, they get a shot of him in that costume, right? You think so? Because it was in the manga. They knew if they did this in the manga, they would know when they were shooting even season one to get these shots. You can superimpose it, of course. You just have him lay down and you can impose it, but it's so much easier if you do it practically. I think they did. Look at that. Every time they were in that location, they had him lay down. It's pretty awesome to know the end of the story when you're shooting the beginning of the story. I don't think cutting your wrist, so that really puts a clock on things, considering you're already blood loss, right? Boy, if you don't get your ass up. Now that I link this back to what he did in season one, I'm not as frustrated, but I'm still pretty annoyed. Boy, she's a world class hater, man. He is so messed up, man. What would this show have been like if you had a protagonist that was self confident and actually had a goddamn will to live? It'd be a very different story, which is not the story the author wanted to tell. Let's make that clear. I'm just like fanfic. Let's fan fiction this for a second. Workshop it. Imagine a self confident protagonist who's not going to quit every 5 episodes, man. You know, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Their protagonist would be like, yeah, yeah, great story about the mental institution. Anyway, what else you got? You know, it'd been interesting to wipe that smile off her face because she's such a smug, condescending asshole, man. And he's playing right into her hands. But to be fair, I'm sure they have psychological profiles and everybody. They wouldn't try this on somebody like you or me, right? Because they would try something very different. There's a way they could get to me. This ain't it. But they wouldn't do this because they know they couldn't get to me that way. They would go. They would get to me the way they can get to me. They got to him the way they could get to him. This is what would work on him, right? You see what I'm saying? So they have psychological profiles. They know exactly how to attack people. The answer is in front of you. And like a lot of stories, the answer is love. And some people are like, "Oh, that's lame or cheesy," but you know, I mean, sometimes that's all that keeps you going, man. It really is. You know, you can think it's cheesy, but I think that's a young person's impulse to think that. As you get older, you realize how important love is. You know, that it really is all you're doing here. This is what we're doing here. You know, for somebody. Even love for yourself, it could be. You know, if you're a loner, you're doing it for the love for yourself. But you know, that is the primary motivating factor that gets most people out of bed, I believe. So that's why a lot of stories boil down to this right here. Exactly this. Love. I mean, what the hell else are we doing all this for? She's condescending asshole. Cannot wait to see that smile wiped off her face. You dick. Get your damn hands off me. I am amazed at how different she looks here versus the other persona, right? She's got that morphine power. Some actors just have it, man. You know. Kiss my ass. Tea time really did work, didn't it? No, you ain't telling me what I'm doing. No. Damn, man. Like, you asked this question 5 minutes ago. We're still doing this. Jesus. You're killing me, man. You're finally sack up, man? Jesus, dude. Ooh, he's reaching for the pill. Hopefully, just shove it up your ass, but, you know, a boy can dream. You know, he's reaching for her. Oh, that was nice. That was nice. She didn't like that shit. That was nice. That was a really good fake out. I've seen movies where the protagonist fails. They give up and fail. Like, I've seen both Smile movies. I've seen that. Those are good movies. They're not bad stories because the protagonist fails. You just have to time it correctly. Sometimes if you drag it out too long, you're just wearing us out, man. Then get your bitch ass up, man. Holy shit. But the Smile movies are a perfect example of the protagonist fails. They're weak and they fail, but it's a great story. You're pulling for him, and like in the third movie, I'll be pulling for him again. You know, once again, I'll be pulling for him, knowing that they're gonna lose. Yep, she didn't like this shit in your ass. She had to take herself to the brink of death to get through this subbitch. My God, man. Oh boy, she is a world class hater, man. She hates it. Want you to die already, man. This music is really good too, by the way. Now, let's finish the game. Well, the looks off her face. Mm, in your ass. This is epic, man. There's a good chance they're killing her off, man. She is bleeding out. Can you do it standing up or sitting up at least? By the way, I know this isn't real, but do you know how nasty the floors of insane asylums have to be? Spit, snot, shit, piss, blood, like puke, like god damn, like a mop ain't getting it, man. A mop ain't getting it. Yeah, tea time's over. All right, whatever. Nice try though, man. When he was reaching over those pillows, she thought she had it, man. She was wet. She really thought she had it. That's right. You better cry. Now, is she crying because she's gonna lose, or is she crying because she's actually moved by their situation or their love for each other? That's a good question, isn't it? I'm not sure, honestly. What a phenomenal fucking actress. Jesus, they got me cussing. She is incredible, man. Put her in more shit. I'm sure she does a lot of shit I've never seen. Yep, just in case we were unclear on that. It was a teacup. Yeah. Can you stop bleeding? Do you mind? Yeah. Hey, thanks. Appreciate that. It actually, it's possible she's being sincere here. She may actually be moved by their love for each other. Who the hell knows with this gaslighting bitch? But I don't know, man. I think it's possible. Maybe so. Maybe I even believe her. I'm not sure. Yeah, the kings and queens, they're always more complex than we think they are. She'll do her best, but all right, they'll do their best, but like she will definitely try to kill you. But if you win and you win in the way that they won, she's actually moved. That's very interesting. I like that she had to reassure us. I do mean that because she is a gaslighting cunt. So yeah, would I naturally assume I believe her? No, hell no. Yeah, don't be showing him actually get through the things unless it's a very close shot, right? Yeah, you did win, or did you? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I wonder how hard it is to get through there because it's yeah, the length of the club, the shape of the head of it, and considering like how you have. I don't know if there's a rule of like how you have to swing it, but it may be harder than we think it is, right? Damn, how long is this goddamn game? She dragging this shit out again? Yeah, still Greek to me. Here we go. She about to get X'd out. I don't know if she's gonna die. I guess she would have to, right? That's what they've been doing. Oh, you incompetent! Yeah. I still love her childish glee. What an absolutely incredible actress. One of the best I've ever seen. She is. Now, it's only one role. Sometimes you can inhabit a role and you're just. But then you can't do anything else, right? I've seen that before. This is only one role, but phenomenal. Boy, did you try, though. Blow that blip up. Blow that shit to hell. Yep, games start again next season. I mean, you tried to kill me, so we're not going to be friendly. I'll be honest with you. Now what? I don't know shit. Just give me one clue, one hint. Go home or find out the truth. That would be one hell of a choice. Oh well, I would make the I would make the choice. The choice. You could go home right now, or you find out the truth of what all this is about. The truth, not some horse shit. That would be one hell of a decision. Some people want answers more than they want to the comfort of society. And what was he doing back on Earth anyway, right? So maybe you can find a better life here. Although it'd be brutal and short. I don't know. I would want to know the answer. That's right. Get that bitch out of here. Yes! Take her ass out. We did it, boys. We did it. Blow that goddamn blimp up. Now what? Man, this music is good. Get it out of here. It'd be awkward if that crashes on top of them. But I assume they time it out so that won't happen. Ooh, pretty. I'm not a huge fan of fireworks, but this is gorgeous. Even though I know it's digital, it's gorgeous. Awesome. Can I get a couple pints? Blood? You know, whatever my blood type is. Yeah, this is pretty good, man. Excellent. What happens if we decline it? I want to know the implications here. Maybe you go home if you decline, or maybe you get killed if you decline it. Eat my ass. Can they hear you? Didn't she get aired out? Like, we're talking about, like, neck to pussy. She got aired out, right? Like, there's no way she's still alive. I decline this bullshit. This has got to be virtual reality, man. Very cute, though. I like these two are cute. She love him. I don't want it. Kiss my ass. I love these two. We're going to see him teleported home, or we're going to see him killed. Can you hear us? They ain't going to give you the implications of declining, man. That's wild. I hate that. I need to know. Eat my ass. Yep. I was reading the subreddit for this last episode. It's episode specific. When it first came out, people were talking on Reddit, right? And somebody said they went to go get some snacks, came back, and half the cast was dead in the last episode. It's like, pause this shit, man. The hell you doing? Somebody else was watching and they didn't want to pause, right? So they just ran in there to get some snacks. Came back, half the crew was dead. It's like, God damn, man. The hell? So I wonder what it said on the screen. It didn't tell us. Eat my ass. Still alive, huh? Well, you need to know for sure. There ain't none of this thinking shit. This something, man. Did anybody actually die? Like, I thought half the crew died. How are you all still alive? That's why I'm saying this is virtual reality, right? You got that one hit point left, and they won't let you die, even though you in real life you would. So what's it gonna be? I honestly don't know what their choice is gonna be. I think they're gonna accept citizenship, but I don't know for sure. They've spent all this time wanting to go home. Permanent residence means you're definitely not going home, right? Oh shit! Here we go. So they're going to decline. Shit. God damn it. Well, I don't think they're going to be executed then, because I don't think they're killing these two characters off. And then, yeah, what the hell? Flashback or no? Why do you seem weird, man? Shut up, nerd. This is what we're doing here in the finale? Seriously? I guess this just shows these three are idiots, right? They're never talking about anything. Yeah. Yeah, an explosion would hurt, wouldn't it? Hey, explosion. Why does that ring a bell for me? Wait a minute. Yep, he remembers. I mean, ego aside, probably. So at least we acknowledge that we're dead. Okay, good. This is a wild ass finale, man. There's a lot of swerves here. That's true. A shitload of people helped you, though. He's right. Don't make me kick your ass. You need to stop obsessing with the past. That is true. It's about goddamn time, by the way. I wonder where she went. She went to talk to her dad, I bet. That seems to be what she's hung up on. I wonder if these people are going to pop up. No, there he is. What the hell? What the hell is happening here, man? There she is. Was she there when they got taken? I can't remember if this was their conversation. I think this was their conversation at the beginning of the series. Right. So was she there? We never knew that. Yeah. Yeah. Don't get hit by a car. You know that's going around. There she is. There we're all here. Was it all of them came from the same spot, or interesting, or is this new? They're being folded into this, right? I think they were all in the same space. That's interesting. Dumbass. Idiots. Jesus, man, you're causing wrecks and shit. Yeah, I think that's why they were hiding from the cops, right? Okay. Idiots. Just going about my day. That's what they all saw, huh? Aliens. They were inside, so they didn't see this shit. Somebody said they saw fireworks the day it happened, right? Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, it was a nuke. Shit. That's what that shit was. So we say this like an afterlife or some shit? They were in purgatory? That's something, I have to admit, that's something I did not consider. I was looking for a technical, magical, time travel or aliens or virtual reality solution, right? It never crossed my mind to think metaphysical, supernatural, or religious, essentially. So they all got, or maybe these were the people who survived and they're kind of in some kind of therapeutic virtual reality, maybe? The people who decline maybe come back. Like, there's so many ways this could go, right? Everybody was snatched out. The ones who survive and decline to become permanent residents get reinserted into the timeline, maybe. You know? What the actual hell was it? This is blowing my mind. He was inside a building. The chances of him surviving were pretty remote. A meteorite. Shit. Holy shit. Yeah. A shitload of families. Right? These are the dead, of course. I don't remember their names, so, you know. Sato, I think, was. Shit, who was Sato? I forget. Yeah. We're doing this shit again? This dude learns nothing, man. They already told you, man. Don't be doing that. Shit is random. We can see that from the outside, but when you're inside of it, it's hard to see that. My body? Well, hold on now. Oh, shit. Enough time to imagine up 2 seasons, right? The Borderlands, huh? Alice in Borderlands. 1 minute. You could dream hours in 1 minute. I don't know about weeks, but you could left to dream hours. Should have accepted. Should have accepted the residency. Felt like weeks. Yeah. Hey, no shit. He actually gives a shit. Holy crap. Guess it takes near death to get that son of a bitch to have an emotional reaction about me. Like I said, I was the favorite son, but I can definitely imagine what the other side would feel like. And that what I just said is how that would feel, right? I am a little astonished that he lived, I'll be honest. That asshole for sure. Screw that guy. I'm just looking, man. What do you mean, what do I want? Yeah, we all did. He is, actually. He's already analyzing this shit. The guy's an asshole and everything. F him. No, he's still an asshole. Well, that's the truth. It's like Saul, right? You go through this and you realize how valuable life is. You never take it for granted again. Yeah. Yep, pretty much. I love it. At least he knows. Yeah, she is messed up, man. Oh no, this is the other one with the messed up leg. They all had cardiac arrest. It's amazing how that worked out. You love him. Girl, you better get your ass in there. They're so cute together. So we didn't have nearly as many deaths as it looked like we were going to have last episode. Some would call bullshit, but you know it's okay. Man, that's a nice massage. Get a massage on your heart. Yeah, man. Good shit. Come out of that feeling relaxed. Takes all the tension away from the heart. You know. Yeah. See, she's gonna come back more relaxed. Wonder why it's called sinus rhythm. You know, your sinuses are up here. Why are we doing sinus rhythm down here? I don't know the answer to that question. Hell no. I got stabbed up, man. Of course, you'll say it's the concrete and the rebar and shit stabbed me, but you know, it was a knife. Oh, yeah. The hell you what? Eat my ass. Yeah, you know, people are more forgiving than me. You know, just, you know. Way more forgiving than me. That's all I'm going to say. It takes a near death to get these shitty parents to actually accept us. Or give a shit, at least. F him. Look at him. He's staying as far away as possible. Go to hell. You want a hug? Go to hell and hug your mother. Yeah. What's up? I guess this is the best this son bitch can do, man. And it took a near death for that get that much out of this son bitch. I'll stand 6 feet away and look longingly at you, and that's about all you get. 2 trillion yen, Jesus. I wonder if it's like every large tragedy with a lot of loss of life. They suck out a bunch of people and then return a few of them. You know, I did that one time where you can like you're from the future, and the way you hide taking people is you do it. You take them right before a tragedy would have killed them. You know, so you can remove people from timeline without affecting the timeline. Right. I wrote a story about that one time because they were going to die anyway. They would have no more further impact on the timeline. So that's when you pull them out. So hey, wow. How much do you actually remember? I think very little. Get the hell out of my way, asshole. Stand there looking at me and shit. Get out of my goddamn way. I love it. The hell are you looking at? Just filled with random rage for no reason. Unmotivated rage. Boy, she is messed up, man. I don't need half a yen. That shit is meaningless. Meow. Hey, hand me back the change in the creepiest way possible. Do you mind? Touch the tips of her fingers as you pull your hand off her palm. You know, just the creepiest ass way possible, right? Yeah, leave me alone. This ain't a dating rink, man. Look, I'm barely walking here. I'm not feeling too sexy. I'll be honest. I said no. The other thing, hygiene is suspect in hospitals, man. Are you playing with? Because you can't really take showers when you're jacked up and you can barely stand. Right? I know they have the seats, but it's hard. Yeah, no. You just undercut everything you're trying to accomplish here, man. Like you actually remember her. It has nothing to do with flirting. You're gonna pull this shit. Dick. Now we're talking. See, it don't work if she don't remember. So nothing you can do with that. Was it in the Borderlands? I can't tell if she's messing with him. Oh, he went to the weather. Oh my god, a walk, bitch. I can't go 3 feet without being in agonizing ass pain. You see me limping. A walk. This somebody said a walk. Can we have a sit? Do this mother effer said a walk with Gimpy here, man. You got to be shitting me. And he led off with the weather. But if they like you, then it doesn't matter what you say. It works, right? If they don't like you, there's nothing cool enough you could say to get them to like you. So that's the way life works. Hey, man, good shit. This is great, man. What a great series. I'm gonna consider season 3 its own thing This is the manga. This is the story. So I'll judge that accordingly, and then I'm going to watch season 3, but I'm going to consider it its own thing. This as the intended story. Or seriously, seriously. I see. I see you. I see you. I peep your game. Joker's wild. That's right. Leaving playing cards out in the wind. Everybody knows that don't work, man. Yeah. Very creepy. Thank you. Yeah. What if there's an after credit scene? I'm going to let it run just in case there is. I suspect not. That's a perfect ending. Perfect story, perfect ending. They don't have the balls to tell us what the hell is going on, so I'm not going to speculate. I have my theories, you know, but it's pointless because they don't have the balls to tell us. So as far as we know, there is no answer. But what they have told us though is people have the well, you could say it was religious, she's metaphysical. You can't even say. I was going to say people have the technology to pull them out and put them back in, but then they were dead for a minute, right? So then we could just say this is purgatory. So there's there's not enough here to draw any conclusions. And I've said many times, if the writer doesn't have the balls to know what the hell's going on and tell us, I'm not going to play their game and speculate for them. I'm not going to do their work for them and do their speculation for them. But having said that, I'm about to hypocriticize myself. I think it's just people from the future, the future technology. I think that she told 3 stories, and there was a little bit of truth in all 3 of them, right? They are from the future, and they pull people out from these. They don't want to mess with the timeline, so they pull people out from tragedies where they could have no further impact on the plot, the timeline, and then if they clear everything, they get put back into the timeline. And maybe it's they already know who's going to clear everything because they know who ended up surviving these tragedies, right? So they could even that could be part of the fun. See if you can get these people who history says came back, to see if you can kill them. And then it turns out you can in most cases, I would think. And you wouldn't really want to mess with your timeline that way. So who knows on that? But I could be biased because I did this story. I told you and it was a meteorite too, because that's an easy way to do a tragedy. A meteorite. So in my story, there's these 8 teenagers that all died when a meteorite hit their small town, right? And so these people came in and pulled them out of the timeline and sent them into the future because they needed to use them in the future, right? And they did this all through every tragedy, the Titanic, and just any thing where there's a large loss of life. They looked through the list of the people who had died, who history said had died, and pulled out the ones that they thought could be useful because they're dead anyway. So them being pulled from timeline doesn't impact the timeline, right? I did that story, so that's what I like, and I like the idea that they were just bored. You get to a point in life, your of immortality where you're just bored, right? And what she said was very specific. That 1,000-year timeline was pretty specific, even though she said she was screwing with them, and all that. It's still very specific, so that's what I would say. And then the second story she told was aliens. So you could say like one of the things maybe they encountered aliens. They used some alien tech to achieve some of these things. So that would be the alien part of the equation. And then the third part of the equation is it's actually a shared delusion. Is how they accomplish everything. It's a shared delusion because remember that some of the things that didn't add up was he goes back to the bar and shit he had left that bar was there. But what about everybody else and all the shit they left in all these places in different timelines? This person came 2 months ago. This person came yesterday. This person came next week. You were here for a week before they showed up. What about their shit? How is it all in the same place, right? It doesn't make sense. You could freeze a city in a moment in time and bring that forward. Everything that was in that city is there. But then other people have shit. And they came at different points. And so I've said that never made any sense. The only way you can answer that question would be virtual reality. But maybe not virtual reality, maybe a shared delusion. So she told 3 stories. You take pieces from all 3 stories, and that's the truth. That's what I would say. But like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because they don't have the balls to tell us. So anytime you set up a mystery and you don't have the balls to give us the answer, then I'm not going to do your work for you. Like it annoys me because as a writer, you should know what the hell the answer is and tell people. You know, and I understand the appeal of ambiguous storytelling and let people kind of, what people could come up with. Like this, for me, my answer is satisfying to me. If they had told something else, that wouldn't be satisfying to me. Your answer is satisfying to you because you came up with it. Their answer is satisfying to them because they came up with it. That's why you do an ambiguous ending. Everybody comes up with something they're happy with, and then everybody's happy. You're afraid to piss people off. You're afraid that like they won't like the story anymore if you give an answer they don't like. Have some goddamn balls and just tell us. That's my point, man. So I would knock this down a grade for that because you're a coward. But having said that, great story, fantastic story. I don't know how the hell they're going to get a third season out of this shit. So that's going to be interesting to see how they do it. People hated it, but I'm not going to. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to hate it because this is a complete story. Whatever we get next is just bonus. So I'm going to look at it as bonus and its own thing, having nothing to do with this. No character assassination. Why would he go back or whatever? All that shit. Whatever. Now it could just. If it's just bad writing in and of itself. I think what most people are annoyed by is this was a complete ending and then they did a third season. That's why people are annoyed, right? And it's not the manga. And oh my god, we have to follow the precious manga. I experienced this with anime I watch. Oh my god, this is filler. This is trash. I will not let this garbage filler pass through my glorious eyeballs because it has not been sanctified by the author of the original story. It's filler. It's not canon. It's filler. Oh my god, filler is disgusting. Why would you pollute yourself with shit not sanctified by the original author? Kiss my ass. There's more than, other writers get paid too. There's more than just the original author of a story, man. They get a paycheck too. There's some good writers out there. There's some good writers that can take your shit and do something good with it, interesting with it. It is possible. So just because the third season is not in the manga doesn't mean it's automatically trash. Like, those writers who wrote season 3 pulled a paycheck. They are professional writers. They know what the hell they're doing. Now, if I watch it and the writing is trash, you're going to hear a very different story. But all I'm saying is, off the top, I'm not going to automatically hate it because it's, they somehow get sucked back into it. And I'm not going to automatically hate it because it wasn't in the manga. So, there we are. See you next week.